Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I take somewhat unreasonable pleasure in welcoming you to the next mission in Isle to Sturmvik 1946 with the Blinding Sun campaign. Today's reinforcements. Yes, General, we got 'em. Yes, I read this part last time. Chernov hung up the phone, all sweaty and red in the face. He yanked off his cap, wiped the sweat off with his forearm, and plunged to the nearest chair. He took a deep breath and then smiled at us. Well, lads, that was fine. Very fine. The General thanked you personally, and I think there may be some medals in your future. Get some rest now. Get some rest, take the rest of the day off. Blah, 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 blah. Next day, we got letters of commendation from the Commander, Order of the Red Banner. Got an entire week off. As we were celebrating, the Kalinin front continued its advance. Blah, 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 blah. We're moving forward. Feel free to read all of this if you would like. But here's the main thing. The Luftwaffe enjoys complete air superiority over our area. Colonel Chernov told us to take all our remaining MiGs to the air and meet the arriving reinforcements to ensure safe passage. So our objective will be meeting and escorting replacements back to our base at Ostashevo. I'll be taking 3 MiGs with me. We'll be carrying these 12.7 millimeter gun pods. 12.7 centimeter, that's like battleship caliber. Okay, take off, 10:30, blah 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 blah. And here is our machine. I have set the weapon 1 convergence down, weapon 2 to 200 meters, so because we do seem to be engaging at pretty close quarters of late. So that is all good. Alright, here we are. We are good to go. Mixture, or radiator closed. Mixture, full rich, engine starting, crack the throttle, prop pitch full. All good. And the engine fires. Lock the tail wheel. Or can we? I don't know. Bombers, 9 o'clock high. Okay. Let's go. Bombers, 9 o'clock high. I don't know what that means, but we'd better get out of here. Let's see. Aileron. Elevator trim is neutral. Bringing up some speed. Flap set for takeoff. I should have done that earlier, but professionalism does not prevail. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll just stay low in ground effect to accelerate, and then bring the flaps up. That's your performance takeoff. Okay, someone was calling bombers. I don't have, enemy aircraft won't show up on the map, though. So, I don't know if that call was from elsewhere, or what it was about. But I will keep you informed and keep my eyes open. Okay, now we're meeting these reinforcements with these MiGs here. So, presumably, we will be turning around to provide top cover, see if any Germans turn up. And aside from that, this could quite possibly be a very uneventful mission, but I am not going to count the chickens until they hatch, or whatever they would say. There is probably some kind of Russian proverb for that, but I don't know what it is. But at any rate, here is our machine, a MiG-3. I've been trying to figure out how many missions this campaign has, because according to the description we get a Yak-1 at some point, but we haven't yet. Perhaps as some kind of reward for shooting down those German aces, although I didn't get credit for either of them. Because one kind of just crashed on its own, and the other was, whatever. But what we need to do now is keep our eyes open, because we did get a call that said bombers after takeoff. That did not prove to end up meaning anything. But what we are going to do is lean out the mixture for the sake of RPM. And once that gets low, okay, I think that's about the ideal lean. I mustn't let my accent slip, though. That would be terrible. Someone might get the wrong idea. Okay. I don't know why these guys are flying so low, because the Germans always seem to have an altitude advantage and jump us from above, even though this beautiful MiG-3 was designed as a as a high altitude interceptor, which is what I've been trying to do with it, because I've been trying to climb above the Germans to get some kind of altitude advantage, but not necessarily the case. We're getting pretty close to base now, so who knows, this could go off without any issues. And I can just sit here sipping my delicious hot chocolate uninterrupted. Am I in... Oh yes, I was nestled to the gun sight and I don't need to be, so that is all good. Yeah, because there's our base at Ostashevo, so I'll cover these guys while they land. We'll just circle above the field. And I'm actually going to climb, because being as this is a static campaign, it's probably inclined to make something interesting happen, and send in some Germans to ruffle our feathers, as it were. But who knows. Lens flare. Ugh. It's interesting. These airfields are very difficult to see in this snow, but one thing that the Soviet Air Force did that was very clever was, because there is the Rasputitsa, the season of bad roads, and therefore bad runways, they paved most of the military airfields in the country. And the Germans couldn't figure out why this was until the Rasputitsa struck and they couldn't get their planes off the ground because the fields were muddy. Because as it turns out, German planners did not in any way account for the season of bad roads. Which is strange given how methodical they were about everything else. But I'm not going to complain, because it might lose them the war for all we know. I am not going to speak with the benefit of historical hindsight after all. That would be ridiculous. Let's see. Guys landing now. Now there's a screenshot right there. Quite a few planes on the ground. They shouldn't park them that close together. One bomb and they all go up in flames. If these rumored German bombers are turning up. Pardon me, there is very loud noise outside. What is happening? Oh. Big noisy truck down the road. Pay no attention to it. We're only supposed to be at 1500 meters, but I want to fly higher in case we get jumped. So it looks like those guys are going into land. Once they're down, I'll clear my group to go down and land. And that will be it. This could be an uneventful mission for all I know. See, and with all the advances that we've managed with this offensive of ours, who knows, we might end up moving up. Because we could be very close to capturing these two airfields. But I don't know. Although Ostashevo is close enough to the front that you don't have to worry too much. I wonder if the only other group of planes in the air was the one that was just landing now. I wonder if they were the ones who sighted those bombers. Which would concern me a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Zveno 1 navigation. They can go ahead and return to base. Now that our comrades appear to have landed. And they'll break off and do their own thing. We'll start descending ourselves. And I don't know offhand what the weather data was for this mission. Doesn't matter too much. We're in a fairly high performance aircraft. We can land with a tailwind if we have to. Which is why we can make a descent that is this absurdly steep. And then cross over the field and do a semi-correct circuit. Although we're going awfully fast. And we'll just trim to keep her level. And we'll be laughing. And those guys will take a little longer to land than we will. So there's the field. And we'll make our left turn onto downwind. Ugh, the sun is blinding, as I say so many times. That title has to have some kind of deep allegorical meaning. Otherwise, why would they use it? Who knows? who would name something IL-2 Stormovik, unless it was essentially the only aircraft you could fly in the initial release, which would come to have one of the bigger selections of flyable aircraft of any sim ever. Now is not the time to ponder. We will set flaps to combat and see if we can get rid of this speed as we turn onto our base leg. Alright, 270, 260, gear down, flaps take off. And keep some power on, trim for a shallow descent, and flaps set for landing. It's so hard to see the runway. Oh, and we've missed it. Don't mind me, just make a little bit of a steep turn here. And I'll stick my head up. Aha! Secondary target complete. So I'm assuming that means our guys made it, which would be the ideal scenario. Alright, power's coming back, because we've still got quite a bit of speed on. We're gonna make the runway, so it's not a big thing. And we'll drag the aircraft into slightly early flare because we were a touch low. And ooh. Okay, this could be a slightly dodgy landing. Okay. We bounced a little bit, but no big thing. Oh, we kind of landed beside the runway. That is very dangerous! I don't dare touch the brakes until we get on the runway. Yeah, there we go. Flaps up. That's something you should do immediately after touchdown, actually. Reduces lift, helps the aircraft settle onto the runway. And there is no taxiway here, but that's okay, we'll turn off. And I'm actually going to taxi into the parking spot this time, because professionalism. I have not been inclined to observe it in this campaign. I've been a little bit deliberately devil-may-care. For your entertainment value. I hope it was worth it. We didn't break too many of Comrade Stalin's airplanes in the process, so it's a reasonably benign thing. It's so nice to actually land. No, they shouldn't have said that, then I messed it up. Ugh. I should not have said that. We sort of just drifted off the taxiway because I was busy babbling and not paying attention. And also, look! The canopy, the cockpit is so far back on this machine, you can't see over the bloody nose. Which is, uh-oh. Fighters, 12 o'clock high. Let's end the mission before something terrible happens. Okay. Let's see what happened. Oh! A year later. Okay, this... We're at Kursk. Okay, so that's, this will all be very interesting when we get to it next time, but until then I've been, yes, you know all this. Blinding Sun, toodaloo, au revoir. Das vidanje.